an allergy was scratched yesterday, so Anshin is 9-1. Secret Hello not getting much backing, 35-1. In Excess is the second choice at 4-1. Farma Way at even money, the big favorite. Flying Continental, the California-bred 5-year-old, is 13-1. Pleasant Tap, number 6, is a long shot at 30-1. My Boy Adam, who comes from the rear, is 8-1. The late-running Festin with Eddie Delahousse up is 11-1. Louis Seifer is 35-1 with Robbie Davis up. Defensive Play won the Stroob Stakes here at 1.25 miles a month ago, but he hasn't impressed too many in the crowd. He is an overlay at 10-1. There is Farma Way, trained now by Wayne Lucas, and to further detail the connection between horse and trainer, let's go to Dave Johnson.
All the stakes wins with the younger horses aside, racetrack regulars know D. Wayne Lucas has done his most extraordinary work with horses who joined his barn later in their careers.
The list includes 4 champions. Steinlen reached the top echelon of American turf runners and stayed there for 3 years. As the 1990 season began, Criminal Type wasn't even in the handicap picture. At year's end, he was Horse of the Year. Now the new kid on the block is Farma Way, who had a reputation as inconsistent until he joined the Lucas barn. This was his first win for his new trainer 10 weeks ago. He ran his winning streak to 4 in the San Antonio Stakes, and it was just as easy. Is today's distance, a demanding 1.25 miles, too big a bite for him? We'll find out.
And that indeed, Dave, is the pertinent question. Wayne Lucas has won just about every big race in the country. Once again in 1990, he led the nation in earnings for trainers. He's a 3-time Eclipse Award winner, but he's never won this race. Here's what he said earlier about Farma Way.
He had some upsetting things in his 3-year-old year that were corrected maybe when he was turned out for a period of time. But when we got him, we looked at him as possibly a sprinter because he was so gifted and had that turn of foot. But as we started to train him, I felt we could relax him. And what we tried to do is to get him to relax in the mornings and spend a lot of time out there with him. And we got him to relax, and consequently now he gives us that burst of speed when we ask for it, and that's the key.
Farma Way is the even money favorite as I turn now to Charles C. Canty, and let's take a look at this varied field, which includes 7 4-year-olds and 3 5-year-olds, 4 foreign-bred horses, and I think most interestingly, Charles C., a quartet of horses who began their careers on grass and most recently switched to dirt.
Well, recently is the operative word here, Alan. This is an unusual situation. Less than 90 days ago, these 4 horses had never even raced on the dirt, yet today they are the shortest, some of the shortest prices in the field. Obviously, they made the transition pretty smoothly. The question is not so much surface, but whether they can get a distance. Defensive Play is the only one proven at 1.25 miles, but if anybody can get one ready to upset in the Stroob, the big cap rather, that's Charlie Whittingham, who trains Anshin.
Those are 4 horses to keep an eye on. I think there are 3 others that might have a chance as well, sort of shrouded in mystery. I think Flying Continental would be one of them, and I think Secret Hello is one who might who you can take a more than cursory look at as well.
He was promising as a 2-year-old, disappointed at 3, and is trying to transport his career across the country right now and reset form in the East.
Who do you like?
I like Defensive Play. He's proven at the distance, and he won the Stroob, and he's a good bit of a price right now.
I'm going with a long shot as well. Festin, in the last 2 years, a 50-1 shot Martial Law and a 22-1 shot Ruhlman have won the Santa Anita Handicap. For the call of the race, as the horses load, let's go upstairs once again to Dave Johnson. Dave.
And there is Anshin, trained by 77-year-old Charlie Whittingham, who has taken the big cap 8 times over the past 40 years or so. 4-5 on Farma Way. That's the number 4 horse with Gary Stevens in the irons, and Gary won this race with Ruhlman last year. My Boy Adam, the 7 horse, moves in, making only his 10th lifetime start. That's Festin, a 1-run horse who will sort of wheel to the middle of the track with Eddie Delahousse. Is looking for his 3rd winner of the afternoon, by the way. Louis Seifer with Robbie Davis, the lightweight in the field at 110 pounds. No problem with the distance. Defensive Play is in, and we're ready for the start. And they're off. And toward the inside, there goes Farma Way at the rail. Secret Hello, a bit of a traffic jam on the extreme outside, and Defensive Play with Flying Continental. Now as the field moves past the stands for the first time, that's In Excess in the bright pink on the inside, taking the lead by ahead. Louis Seafree out in the middle of the racetrack, the longest shot on the board, now puts ahead in front as the favorite. On the inside, Farma Way is right there. Now those two match strides. Farma Way on the inside, Louis Seafree on the outside. In Excess saving ground along the inside third. In tight quarters, Anshin now fourth. Secret Hello sneaks up fifth on the inside. Defensive Play is seventh. Flying Continental on the outside between horses eighth. Two back, My Boy Adam is ninth. Pleasant Tap is 10th. And Feston is 10th and last, about 17 lengths off the leader. They straighten away down the backstretch. Farma Way at the rail leads by a neck. On the outside, Louis Seafree is right there, second by a length and 3/4. In Excess running easily in third. There goes Defensive Play. On the outside, the Strube winner is now fourth and gaining. Anshin between horses fifth. Secret Hello drops back. Then My Boy Adam between horses. Pleasant Tap is in tight quarters. Down the backstretch, 3/4 of a mile in 1:10 and 1. The pace realistic, and Farma Way, the favorite, still holds on to the lead 3/4 of a length. Louis Seafree is second, and now In Excess moves a closer third. Pleasant Tap is on the move from the middle of the racetrack fourth. Anshin seems to be dropping back in fifth. Defensive Play is next. And Feston, who was last going down the backstretch, is now fifth and gobbling up ground on the outside as the field straightens away in the stretch. Farma Way draws off by 2.5. Feston on the far outside. Pleasant Tap closing strongly. And down the stretch they come. Gary Stevens aboard. Farma Way lets out another notch. A 16th to go, and it doesn't look like Farma Way is going to be beaten. He's going to take his fifth straight victory here. Farma Way by 2.5 lengths, with Feston finishing second, and Pleasant Tap was third. And the final time, 2 minutes and 1/5 of a second, far off the stakes and track record here, but unofficially, it's Farma Way.
So Farma Way, and a lot of people think that Wayne Lukas oversells his horses from time to time, but not in this case. He thinks that this horse can very much follow in the footsteps of Criminal Type, who was the horse of the year for 1990. This horse now has won 5 races at a meeting that opened up just after Christmas, including 4 stakes races. Farma Way, who goes off as the odds-on favorite, he went off at 4-5, and we have the inquiry sign has gone up. The inquiry sign has gone up here at Santa Anita. So Farma Way, who I am going to suggest is not being looked at in the inquiry because he was drawing clear in the stretch, and that is Lafitte Pinkai, who is being carried off the track, having been dismounted from My Boy Adam. So we will check on the condition of Lafitte Pinkai, who is being placed into the ambulance. We have an inquiry as well in the 54th running of what has turned out to be a most eventful Santa Anita Handicap. All right, so we will get the report as soon as we can on Lafitte, the fabled jockey, a man who has won every major race in the country seemingly. Meanwhile, Farma Way comes back, and we're waiting for further word. It's a steward's inquiry, and we are awaiting word as to exactly what the stewards will be taking a look at. Chauncey, join me again here as we take a look at the stretch run, and I think Dave Johnson put it best as he lets out a notch, does Gary Stevens, and Farma Way pulls away to win this one impressively.
Well, the key to his victory here and to all of his victories, as you said earlier, was the wonderful job Wayne Lukas has done in getting this horse to relax. He had company alongside him all the way around the first turn, down the backside. They went 23, 46, 3/4 and 10 and 1. Yet this horse was running easily and relaxed. Gary Stevens just sat coolly, waited till he was free and clear at the head of the stretch, and look, he doesn't even turn his stick up. This is a very easy victory. Obviously, distance is no question for this son of Marfa, also trained by Wayne Lukas.
Marfa was the winner of the 1983 Santa Anita Derby. All right, those are the unofficial results now. Farma Way, the winner. The long shot Feston winds up second, and Pleasant Tap, another long shot as well, was third. But there is a steward's inquiry, and we'll come back to Santa Anita shortly. For the moment, however, to New York. And Frank Gifford wins. He pays $380, $320, and $280, going off at 4-5. Feston finishes second, pays $720 and $460. Pleasant Tap was third at $780. The $5 exacta 4 and 8, $79. The time, 2 minutes and 1/5. Now the point standings in the American Championship Racing Series. Farma Way wins today. Jolie's Halo won the Don. Each has 10 points. Feston picks up 7 points today, along with Sports View, who was second at the Don. Pleasant Tap and Secret Hello each have 5. Now to the Lafitte Pinkai incident. It takes place at the 3 pole. He is on the stretch running My Boy Adam, number 7, and we'll get to that in just a second. And let's see if we can pick him out here, Charlie, as he gets unseated at the 3/8 pole, and we are awaiting word on his condition.
On the rail, the horse with the white blinkers. He didn't seem close enough to be clipping heels. I can't. Yes, he does. There. That's where it happens. He evidently runs up behind the horse in front of him, clips heels, and pops Lafitte off over his head. My Boy Adam does not fall, but bobbles badly. And just projects Lafitte right out of the saddle.
All right, so a most anxious moment for a lot of people around here, as Lafitte Pinkai has been one of the most popular and successful riders, and we are awaiting, if we can get it before we go off the air, preliminary word on Lafitte Pinkai. Meanwhile, here comes the winner, Farma Way, and with me live is Gary Stevens. And Gary, you've ridden a lot of great horses in your career, and you've got another beauty right here.
This is a super horse. Wayne's done a terrific job with him. He's gone from 7/8 of a mile at the beginning of the meet to 1.25 miles, and just a phenomenal job and a phenomenal horse.
Well, you knew exactly what you were doing because you've been In Excess's regular rider as well, so you pretty much had your choice, and I guess you felt clearly that Farma Way was the horse to be.
Well, it was a very difficult decision. In Excess is a very nice horse in himself. I've been very lucky with Mr. Lucas. He's been good to me. I ride a lot of nice horses for him, so that had a lot to do with it.
Do you feel at this point this horse runs better on the lead, just off the pace, or in the middle of the pack? He seems to be able to do just about anything you want.
I'll tell you, it doesn't matter where he's at. If the pace is slow, then he's going to be up on it. If it's fast, he's going to be off of it. But he's a consistent horse. He'll give you a nice run the last 1/4 mile, and that's all you want in a racehorse, and he's a true racehorse.
Happy birthday to you, by the way. What, 28 last week?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, a great year in 1990 and a great start in 1991 for Gary Stevens. Third, In Excess was 4th, and Louis Seafree was 5th. Al Michaels at Santa Anita sending it back to New York, and the Giffer.
Then we come to the favorite, Farma Way, at 4-5 from the D. Wayne Lucas stable. Flying Continental, Pleasant Tap, My Boy Adam. Rounding out the field, Feston from Argentina, Louis Seafree from Bobby Frankel's barn, and Defensive Play representing Shug McGahee's stable. Now for the call of the big cap. Let's go to ABC's coverage with Dave Johnson.
And they're off. And toward the inside, there goes Farma Way at the rail. Secret Hello, a bit of a traffic jam on the extreme outside, and Defensive Play with Flying Continental. Now as the field moves past the stands for the first time, that's In Excess in the bright pink on the inside, taking the lead by ahead. Louis Seafree out in the middle of the racetrack, the longest shot on the board, now puts ahead in front as the favorite. On the inside, Farma Way is right there. Now those two match strides. Farma Way on the inside, Louis Seafree on the outside. In Excess saving ground along the inside, third. In tight quarters, Anshin now fourth. Secret Hello sneaks up 5th on the inside. Defensive Play is 7th. Flying Continental on the outside between horses, 8th. 2 back. My Boy Adam is 9th. Pleasant Tap is 10th. And Feston is 10th and last, about 17 lengths off the leader. They straighten away down the backstretch. Farma Way at the rail leads by a neck. On the outside, Louis Seafree is right there, second by a length and 3/4. In Excess running easily in third. There goes Defensive Play. On the outside, the Strube winner is now 4th and gaining. Anshin between horses, 5th. Secret Hello drops back. Then My Boy Adam between horses. Pleasant Tap is in tight quarters. Down the backstretch, 3/4 mile in 1:10.1. The pace realistic, and Farma Way, the favorite, still holds on to the lead 3/4 of a length.
Louis Seafree is second, and now In Excess moves a closer third. Pleasant Tap is on the move from the middle of the racetrack fourth. Anshin seems to be dropping back in fifth. Defensive Play is next. And Feston, who was last going down the backstretch, is now fifth and gobbling up ground on the outside as the field straightens away in the stretch. Farma Way draws off by 2.5. Feston on the far outside. Pleasant Tap closing strongly. And down the stretch they come. Gary Stevens aboard. Farma Way lets out another notch. A 16th to go, and it doesn't look like Farma Way is going to be beaten. He's going to take his 5th straight victory here. Farma Way by 2.5 lengths.
Farma Way came into the big cap on a real tear. He'd won 4 in a row at Santa Anita, going 6.5, 7, 8.5, and then 9 furlongs. The only question was whether he could go 10 furlongs, 1.25 miles, and he certainly could. This is a very versatile colt. When someone gets in front of him, he lays off the pace. When no one does, he goes to the lead all by himself. And that's what happened in here. Only one horse was pressing him throughout this race, Louis Sipper, who was rank. And when Louis Sipper quit, Farma Way just spurted clear and turned this into a one-horse race. Farma Way's won 5 in a row now, but just how good is he? It's hard to tell because he really hasn't been beating anything this winter at Santa Anita. And we'll probably have to wait until he runs against horses like Unbridled and Summer Squall later this year to find out just how good he is.
Well, we should get a pretty good 1.1 miles. On